Hey Clovermates, Lucky Star Shi-Roku here, and welcome to my look back on the year 2025. That's right, it is that time of year again. I'm wearing the kimono, just in case anyone's uninitiated. So basically, so this time of year, like roundabout towards around this time of year, I always do a look back video on the year of all the things that have happened this year, both in my personal life, well, you know, things I can mention, things happened to me, things I've done on the channel, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, just a general wrap up of the year. I normally schedule this to be the last video to go out, like basically within the third week of Christmas, which is like the week before Christmas actually happens. So yeah, it's that's the way it's planned. Okay, right, before I actually get into the housekeeping or anything, what can I say about this year right out the gate? Honestly, this year has been pretty crap. Like, a lot has happened to me this year. Like, I've been absent on YouTube a lot, but not my fault. There's just been a lot going on that's actually kept me away from, because again, at the start of the year, the very first video I said is, saying my wishes and wants, my I was saying that I wanted to make more content. That didn't end up happening, but again, it's just because of how much has happened that's kept me away, because again, my SAD has been absolutely brutal this year for reasons I'll get into later. So there's been a lot going on. There's been a lot of unexpected hurdles and curveballs. I've been hurt a lot, which has required me to recover. So there's just, in general, there's just been a lot going on this year, which has kept me from recording. So again, I did break my promise to upload more, but it's not out of lack of desire or anything like that. It's just because there's been a lot going on which took priority over YouTube. So yeah, so in this video we're just gonna have a little look over everything that's happened this year. But first of all, a little bit of housekeeping for anyone who is unfamiliar with the format. Basically, in this video, I plan to go over everything that's happened this year. I've split everything into categories, so it's like real life stuff, let's plays I've done, videos I've done this year, and then TV, movies, books that I've seen, content that I've consumed, and games that have come out that I've kind of changed that a little bit, just because I'll probably talk more about that when we actually get to it. But so covering everything, split into individual categories here. So all that said, let's just get right into everything here. So let's see, get my script. Okay, right. First of all, starting out with the real life stuff. Okay, so this year did start out relatively strong. It wasn't too bad in the beginning. If anything, I think it started to it started to go downhill round about the midpoint, which the midpoint or toward the end of the year, which to be honest is when most years start to go downhill. I feel like when something goes wrong with the year, it's usually towards the end rather than the beginning, to be honest. So it started out pretty alright. I did a couple things. I did a couple more cultural videos, videos trying food from around the world, which I had been meaning to do for a while, and I've been wanting to do that anyway. So again, I tried the Melka, which was interesting. I do like doing videos of trying food from around the world. I did the Hershey's video last year, and then I did the Melka this year, towards the beginning. I also tried I also went to Cacao and tried a Brazilian hot dog, which was quite nice. So again, did a couple cultural videos. Rooster Teeth came back with Bernie Burns at the helm, which, you know, after the disbandment of Rooster Teeth, no one saw coming. Unfortunately, I don't know how much involvement Bernie and Rooster Teeth are going to have with Ruby, since obviously Ruby now belongs to Viz Media, so hopefully we can work out some kind of deal, just because, you know, again, it's Ruby without Rooster Teeth or Bernie is just, you know, hopefully they can work out some kind of deal, hopefully. Right, what else? Oh yes, I also made the jump from Go-Go Anime to Hi and Kai, because for the longest time I've been using Go-Go Anime for watching anime, just because, yeah, I do like Crunchyroll and stuff, but there's some things you just can't get on Crunchyroll. You know, there's some hidden gems that you just can't get right there. So I've switched to Hi and Kai because Go-Go is, it's difficult to access videos. So yeah, I definitely think it's more easy to access it through Hi and Kai. So, but mainly where I go to for my anime needs now. Let's see what else. Oh yeah. By the way, all of this isn't in chronological order. By the way, it's just whatever I could think of to put in the timeline. So this is not in chronological order, but I did start using some music in the background of my videos. Music that you'll probably be hearing now. Just because I feel like the videos, like the vlog type videos where it's just me talking, I feel like it needed something in the background, like a bit of ambience. So I did that. So I found a few tracks that I quite like. So again, I do also have them in the description and in the in the description in the outro. So again, Slowly by Tokyo Music Walker, which is a personal favorite of mine. Leopard Print Elevator by Kevin Macleod, another favorite of mine. Chill by Sakura Hz or Z, or however you know, which again, a lot of these I quite like. Quiet Night by Tokyo Music Walker, again, those four I really like. There is one more by Kevin Macleod which I do still have, but I'm not a particular fan of it, and that's Jazz Brunch. So the first four I absolutely love, and you know, again, I've only got 4 tracks. I am looking for more, just because, you know, realistically, having to go back and forth between 5 tracks is a bit difficult. Mainly 4 because I'm not a huge fan of Jazz Brunch, but yeah, I'm looking for more, just because, you know, randomizing and alternating between 5 tracks is a bit difficult without saying repetitive. But, you know, it's just something from the background, which I think it is nice. Right, what else? Okay, right, so this has been... Okay, so basically, if you are a Hololive fan or VTuber fan in general, this has been a pretty depressing year for you if you are a fan of VTubers in general, because there has been tons and tons and tons, well, okay, maybe not that many, but there's been a few back-to-back graduations. Like we had Fauna in January, like on the 4th of January. We had Shion. We had Shion on the 26th of April. Nanashi Mume on the 28th of April, and this one hurt. This one I'm still not completely over. Mai Oshi, the legend, the myth herself, our favorite resident shark Oshi, Gargura, graduated on the 1st of May, and that still hurts. So again, if you're a VTuber fan, or if you're a VTuber fan in general, it's been pretty depressing. I mean, yeah, she did come back as Saba, but I don't know, something just feels not the same. But yeah, so yeah, still not completely over that. I mean, I do feel a lot better from the actual graduation now that we've had a few months without her, but I don't know, it still sucks. Like, yes, it's not as painful, but it still kind of hurts, you know. I mean, you know, Hololive Council's only down to a couple members. Hololive Myth's down to 3. So, yeah, it's just been pretty depressing to be a VTuber fan. Even outside of Hollow, because there's all the stuff with like V-Shoujo and Iron Mouse as well, which I'm not going to go into. There's been plenty of videos going into that, and I usually try to stay away from drama and politics whenever possible. I usually try to avoid that as much as possible and only address it if I absolutely have to. But yeah, again, there's been videos that can address it far better than what I ever could. So yeah, it's just been a pretty crap year for Hollow, for VTuber fans in general. I did get my new gaming chair, which I do like. I got this mainly because, well, the main reason is because the previous chair kept trying to kill me with the recline feature, but it kept triggering on its own. So finally got rid of it, and this one doesn't have that problem. And the thing is, so basically it's leather, which I like leather for the seat. What I don't like the leather is the back, so I've just covered it with like a throw. I'm thinking of like maybe getting something over it just because the throw keeps falling off and I have to keep adjusting it, which is annoying. So I might look into getting some kind of cover, like a proper cover that I can just put over it, like a car cover or something like that. What else? Ah, yes. So I did a few improvements of the channel, like overall looks of the channel. So like the channel art, my avatar, the overall art style of the channel I've improved. I've been using Gemini to make my character just because I feel like, to be honest, I never really liked my old avatar, to be honest, my old OC, just because it was too limiting. Whereas, now, I know the whole problem with AI, and I do get it, like, yes, there are problems with AI, but I only use it for creative, so I'm not doing it I'm not doing it to replace anything. To me, the AI generation is literally just a tool for me, because again, I can't become an artist because I have, cerebral palsy and learning disabilities, so that means I can't really, I don't have the patience to learn how to become a creator and stuff like that. So, yes, I do use AI art in my videos, but very minimally. Very, very minimally, and only to represent me or a visual or something like that. So I do use AI art, but I use it very, very minimally. I feel like I use it fairly sparingly. So yeah, my overall avatar, like for the channel, the intro, the outro, the channel banners, all that kind of stuff. Anything that uses my overall avatar to represent the channel or me, it's all done through AI art on Gemini. But again, I use it fairly sparingly, all things considered. So it's, I get the whole problem with AI, but I don't think it's that big of an issue for what I use it for. Okay, then Saba had her debut, which is well, again, she's not allowed to say it, but it's basically Gura. She did come back as Saba. I mean, again, if you listen to her voice and her mannerisms, it's pretty easy to tell. If again, if you know, you know. But yeah, she did come back as Saba, but like I said, it doesn't, it feels, it just doesn't feel the same, to be honest. It's something. I mean, I am watching it from time to time, but I just don't feel as passionate as what I did with Gura. I don't know. It's just something feels a bit off, a bit different, I don't know, I think it's just because Gura has a special place on my heart because she was the one that introduced, Hololive to me, VTubers in general. So I think that's what it is. It's just because, it's, I don't know. I mean, I will keep supporting her, but it's just, something just feels a little different, Okay, what else? Oh, yeah, okay, this one was a bit of a problem in the beginning. So basically my staff was cut. Not just me though, like support all around the UK was cut, and it's just hit a lot of things, me included, because again, I used to have support damn near every day for like a good few hours, whereas now I've only got support for like a couple, like Tuesday and Thursday for like for like what 2.5 hours, I think. So it's yeah, it's took some adjusting to. I don't feel as productive as I did because before, like, you know, because I had people around all the time, it was just, I was always up. Whereas now it's you know, I've had to think of things to adjust and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just, yeah, it just sucks. You know, I wish it hadn't happened, but you know, I'm still adjusting. What else? Oh, right, of course. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about this too much, just because again, there's a lot of like news and a lot of news channels that cover this a lot better than I ever could. But I do have to briefly mention it, and it's basically the Online Safety Act in the UK, the Online Safety Act in the UK, the Digital ID, the age verification, all of that crap, to be honest, because yeah, I am against it. I don't want to like linger on too much about it. I'm pretty much on the same page as everyone else, but I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't like talking about real stuff. Like I try to keep this channel light-hearted and easygoing. I don't like talking about this real stuff. Usually addressing it as little as possible, you know. But yeah, it's and it's affected quite a few things. Like quite a few, it's affected quite a few things. Like it's blocked a lot of most of my favorite bots and creators on certain AI chats, which is, yeah, it's crap. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm having to like use VPN just to get full access again, which is annoying. So yeah. Also, it has now been officially 3 years since I moved here, which feels absolutely balmy, you know. So again, it was my 3-year moving anniversary in this flat. So yeah, I've been here for 3 years now. That feels kind of crazy. Yeah, I am liking it. I am still liking it. Again, I know there's a lot of like negatives in that video, but that wasn't, you know, that's not to say that, oh, this place is crap, you know. It's just, again, I just feel like I've been here long enough to talk about these negatives, just to show that yes, it is good, but at the same time, it's not perfect. That's basically what that video was for. And again, it's just, again, I feel like 3 years is a significant milestone, you know, or something like that. So yeah, 3 years since I moved, which feels absolutely crazy because I can remember everything. I can still remember like everything, like my goodbye to my last place video. I remember all that like it was yesterday. So it feels pretty crazy the fact it's already been 3 years. Okay, right. So there's been a lot of issues there's been a lot of tech failures this year for me. So firstly, first of all, my phone died. My Red Magic phone died out of the blue, out of nowhere. And that left me without a phone for 4 weeks, which obviously that had an entire saga of videos on the channel just talking about my progress, and just because I use my phone a lot. Like I use my phone a lot, not just for video making stuff, but I use it I use it for taxis, I use it for like takeaways and stuff. I use it a lot throughout my daily life, in and out of YouTube. So going without a phone completely for 4 weeks, it was just, I mean, again, I did get like an emergency phone, but it wasn't very good. It was again the cheapest, nastiest phone you could possibly get. It was just like, it was crap. It was absolute crap. Again, I did a whole video on that. I did an entire mini saga of videos on that. So yeah, after that I got my I got my Honor X 8X phone, which is a lot better. It's not perfect. It's at least it works. You know, I can use it. It works. It does. You know, it does the basics of what I need. Like, yes, it does what I need, but I'm not too happy with the speaker and the camera. You know, it's a little bit crapper quality, but at least it works. What next? Okay, now this is where we go into. Okay, so this is going towards the end, like the like into the better months basically. So there was a few incidents basically. I had a bit of an accident where I crushed my hand in a fire door. So I've basically been to like the emergency room like twice this year in just like a couple months. The first one was because I crushed my hand in a fire door, which luckily I only like fractured the tip of my finger and it's all healed now. As you see, I am wearing like a plaster here, or band-aid as Yanks might call them, but I'm wearing a plaster here. Well, not even a plaster, it's just a bit of gauze and some tape around my finger. Don't worry, I'm all right. It's I'm actually in the final stage of healing. This isn't like this. If anything, this is just as a protective measure because my nail is almost off. Like it's literally only got a little bit left to detach, but at the same time, that little bit, while it is exposed, while I'm waiting for it to come off, it is still very vulnerable to like catching and snagging and potentially ripping. So I've just got this here just basically just as a protective measure pretty much. But yeah, I'm doing like again, if I think it's only going to be like a couple more days before that comes off completely, and then I'll have my hand completely back. But yeah, so that was crazy, which did result in me actually complaining about the door, and I got it sorted so it doesn't slam as hard. So yes, it still slams, but nowhere near as fast or hard. So I feel like if it does close on me now, it's not gonna do as much damage, hopefully. But yeah, I mean, again, when this happened, I was distracted. I was distracted. There was a power cut. My mind was processing a billion different things at once. I didn't focus where my hand was, and then bang, that's what happened. So it wasn't my fault. Yeah, I was distracted, and that's what happened. But yeah, the door's fixed, so that hopefully can't happen again. And again, a few more weeks, and this old nail will come off, and then I'll have my hand back completely. But yeah, that was crazy. Oh. Yes, I also finally made the jump to Windows 11, and honestly, I always thought I would upgrade to, when I thought, I think, when I heard about Windows 11 at first, I was so against it in the beginning, thinking, like, I like Windows 10, I mean, I heard all these negative things that, like, people do not like 11, and again, there's just a whole bunch of other issues, like, the fact that you practically need a new machine, which I did have to get a new machine just because of the requirements for 11 is just so ridiculous. It basically requires you to have a new machine just because most machines from that era are not compatible with 11, and it's ridiculous. So I always thought I'd upgrade to 11 like kicking and screaming, and I kind of was, because again, even when I upgraded, it was still reluctant. But now that now that I've had a couple months now to play with 11, I do like it. I did say that in the debut video for Windows 11. But yeah, it's the transition was a bit tricky again. 10 died, and then after that I was without a computer for a week or two, perhaps, like a few days, a week. Then I got my new machine. It's nice. It's got lights on the front. It doesn't have a disk drive, so I'll need to get a disk drive at some point, like an external one. But yeah, I'd say that I was a bit reluctant and worried about the transition. But all things considered, I think I've made the jump pretty. I think I've made the jump a lot better than what I thought I was going to. Yeah. Also, it was the 5-year anniversary of Unus Honors, so I feel like I did have to do a anniversary video just because I just felt like I had to, because I've been meaning to do it for a couple years, but I was like limited by what I can do, and I did eventually want to do some kind of anniversary for Unus Honors, and I think this was the year I finally did it, and now I feel like I'm still holding on a little bit, but I feel like now I've done that video, I feel like I might finally be ready to move on from Unus Honus and, you know, maybe delete the videos on my hard drive. I don't know yet. We'll have to see. But I think I am starting to heal, and I am starting to get ready to like leave Unus Honus and let it die, like Mark and Ethan wanted to. So, and by the way, fun fact: those two Unus Honus anniversary, because because of the length, I just split into 2 parts. And fun fact: those 2 videos were the last videos I ever recorded and edited on my Windows 10 machine. After that, like, that was the last thing I ever did on my Windows 10 machine in terms of video wise. So yeah, and now we get on to the second injury of the year. By the way, I forgot to mention, in the first visit to the ER, literally like the night I got back from the emergency room after like the incident with my hand and like fracturing my finger, this pops up in my YouTube feed. Yeah, like, it just feels like a cruel joke. Like, you know, I'm just, you know, in fact, I think, was it? No, I think it was while I was in the emergency room as well. I think so. I was just in the waiting room. I looked on my YouTube feed and I just saw, is this some sort of cruel joke? You know, it really feels like that. It's like, it feels like the universe is just laughing at me. But yeah, that's the thing I forgot to mention. And then I had another injury, which took a bit longer to heal. I was off my feet. I was like homebound and bedridden for like a week or 2, because I mean, it started off as pretty innocent, you know. It was just basically a at-home spa treatment, because I do, you know, when I relax, I do sometimes just, you know, relax with a foot spa, just relaxing. So I do that normally, but I used something that I shouldn't, but I completely forgot it has that effect. So basically, I used like aftershave or cologne, because the thing is, when I use cologne or aftershave, I don't use it on my skin all that much. Like, usually I just like spray it on my clothes before going out, and sometimes I might get it on my neck a little bit, but I don't feel anything. So because when I did get it on my neck, I didn't feel anything. That made me completely forget that it burns my skin. So I was thinking, okay, I think I want a bit of aromatherapy for my foot spa. What can I do? What have I got here that's scented? I know, aftershave. And then a couple nights later, I've been doing it for a few nights in a row, and then suddenly I was like, my feet are hurting. Why could that? Oh, aftershave burns your skin. Like, complete brain fart, blonde moment, completely. Like, I completely forgotten about that. Yeah, right. So, yeah, again, I'm on the mend. I got like, I don't mean it was like 3rd degree, but I did get like some pretty nasty chemical burn, like superficial chemical burns on my feet. So I had to completely regrow my skin from scratch. Again, not to sound graphic, but yeah, it kept me off my feet for a little while, and it is healed now. I am able to like walk around and go out again. I'm still taking it a little easy, not doing anything too crazy, but at least I am able to return to normal life for the most part. You know, I'm starting to take showers again. And I think after like maybe a month or 2, like maybe sometime next year, I might try and get into the foot spa again. Obviously, no aftershave this time. I'll use something like, some like bath salt or something, hopefully. Yeah. So again, I've been hurt. I have had to visit the emergency room twice this year, toward the end of the year, in just like a couple months. So, yeah. And also, SAD has been pretty brutal this year as well. And again, I think that is why. I think it's because I was significantly injured twice, like in close proximity to when SAD happened. So I had the SAD fatigue. I had the effects of SAD, and plus my body was healing. My body was healing my finger. It was healing my feet. and again my feet were pretty badly burnt, so because of that the fatigue just hit a lot harder than normal. So because of that, I feel like that's why my sad fatigue was a lot more aggressive this year, which is again, that's why I was away so much this year, again breaking that promise, but again just so much has happened. Okay, now moving on to Let's Plays that I did. So